o'clock, so we'll get things started here today. Before we get the official board meeting started, we've got someone taking a new oath of office today.
Okay, so I'll read the oath of office. If you put your right hand up at the end of it, say I do, and then I'll just have you sign this. Okay. Do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Ohio, and that you will faithfully and impartially discharge your duties as members of the Board of the Education of Kenton City School District in Hardin County, Ohio, to the best of your ability and in accordance with the laws now in effect and hereafter to be enacted during your continuance in said office and until your successor is elected and qualified?
I do.
All right.
Should we clap?
So now that you're official, welcome to the board, Brad. Okay, we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. It is 7:01 on February 26, 2024.
Mr. Carmine.
Yes.
Mr. Hensel.
Yes.
Mrs. Heidinger.
Yes.
Mr. Ledley.
Yes.
Mr. Wingfield.
Yes.
Okay, next item, Pledge of Allegiance. If everyone stand, flag is over here to you. Okay, item 4, approval and correction of the minutes of the reorganizational meeting and regular meeting that was held on January 11th, 2024. Could I have a motion, please?
Hensel.
Thanks, Rodney. A second?
Heidinger.
Thanks, Tasha. Any discussion? With the none, we'll go ahead and have a vote then.
Mr. Hensel.
Yes.
Mrs. Heidinger.
Yes.
Mr. Ledley.
Yes.
Mr. Wingfield.
Yes.
Mr. Carmine.
Yes. Item 5, principal, supervisor, faculty report, student showcase. Looks like we've got some Kenton Middle School gatekeepers with us tonight. So, Ashley, if you would like to get us started.
Hi everyone. If you don't know me already, I'm Ashley Ward. I'm a school counselor at Kenton Middle School and the school advisor for gatekeepers at the middle school. Fun little story is I brought gatekeepers to the middle school in 2018 when I started in Kenton. And Gatekeepers is actually from a nonprofit organization called PASS. And so every other Friday, we meet and we have 2 individuals. This year we have Hope and Christy that come in and they collaborate with me and we do the meetings with the students to run Gatekeepers and make sure it goes smoothly. So here I have 4 students with me that are members of Gatekeepers. We have 2 8th graders here. We have Emmeline Bachneck. We have Robert Lawrence. And then we have 2 7th graders over here. We have Taylor Monday and Callie Schwimmer. And so they are going to present to you what Gatekeepers is and what we've done this year so far.
So Gatekeepers is a student-led interactive group meant to help people struggling with their suicidal thoughts. Also, it provides people with a way that they can overcome their negative thoughts and actions. Also, Gatekeepers helps raise awareness to mental health, as well as being a great way for students to contribute to their school and fellow classmates. Also, in Gatekeepers, we pass out some stress tools to help our students.
Chad might need to.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. Give him 2.
How we help. We provide information to students on how to get help because sometimes students need help and they don't know where to get help or like how to get help. So we advertise the Hope Line and some other things to help them. We bring awareness to students during the school day by celebrating national days and months like Suicide Prevention Week and Kindness Week and some others. We also use holiday themes to advertise and help people know awareness. And we also make announcements.
So some things that we have done and some things that we plan on doing are, in September, we did training protocols for the new gatekeeper members, and it was also Suicide Prevention Week, so we made announcements to promote that week. And in October, it was Red Ribbon Week, so we made a banner for the students to sign, having them pledge to be drug-free, bully-free, and alcohol-free. We also made announcements in the morning and in the afternoon to promote the activity. And we also gave out Red Ribbon Week supplies like pencils, pencil sharpeners, and pencil pouches.
In November, we did Hope Line bracelets with a gratitude message. In December, we did candy canes with a positive message on them. And we also did a bake sale, and we raised over $400, and we are using the money to help spread awareness. In January, we did National Compliment Day, and we handed out candy that has a positive message on it to help the students stay upbeat. And for February, it was Kindness Week, and we sold candygrams as a fundraiser.
In the next couple of months, we will be doing stress management, encouraging quotes to students before state testing, and then in May, we will be bringing awareness for Mental Health Awareness Month.
Do you guys mind if I ask you guys a question? We in our training in September, we learned that there's one suicide per how many minutes? Do you guys know? Any guesses?
1 minute.
15, you said minutes or seconds?
Minutes.
Minutes.
One every one.
Nope.
1 every 3 minutes? Okay.
10.
Close. It's 11.
So,
Boom. 2 balls.
So here we have some pictures of some activities that Gatekeepers has done. In the first few photos, you can see some team building activities that we did with the members of Gatekeepers. And we also have some candy canes that we handed out to the students during Christmas with a positive message on them. And you can also see some members of Gatekeepers attaching the messages to them. In this slide, we have 2 banners. One, it was for Kindness Week, which was very recent, and we had the students sign that. And in the bottom corner, we have the Red Ribbon Week banner, and we had them pledge to be drug-free, bully-free, and alcohol-free. In the top corner, you can see the bracelets that we gave out for Thanksgiving, and it had gratitude messages on them. And you can also see some candy bars that we put some positive messages on, as well as the students attaching them.
Overall, Gatekeepers is a positive way for all of KMS to learn more about mental health. The members of Gatekeepers enjoy being able to help their peers as well as having fun and doing interactive activities. It is important to have an extracurricular like Gatekeepers because it lets students get back to their school by planning exciting activities.
That is our presentation for about Gatekeepers, but we wanted to thank you for letting us come here and explain to you all what we actually do in the school. And we are always open for more ideas, so it's fun to get more students and new students and bright minds each year into our group. We want to ask you guys now, if you guys have any questions for us, for our students.
How many students are in this?
So this year, we probably have around 30, 35. It varies depending on grade. So last year, we had more 8th graders, and this year, we started out with more 7th graders, so it just really depends. And what's nice is the high school has paused, so it's gatekeepers as well, so they can move on to the high school.
How does a student become a gatekeeper?
So the gatekeeper members from the year before promote it at the beginning of the school year, and then we have an informational meeting. We have the past representatives that are head of gatekeepers that year to come in, and they do like a huge presentation, give out flyers, explain what we do, and let the students ask questions. And that meeting always ends up being like, I want to say like 60 students there just to figure out what it is, and then we dwindle down to whoever wants to come the beginning meeting. And that's when we do the protocols and like the training. So once we get our set students in the group, then we do the mental health gatekeeper training for them. So they know what to do and what to say to students when they're in need or need some help.
Do you have a lot of students that come to you that need help?
We have middle schoolers.
Yeah,
so,
I know, but I'm just saying.
It's hit or miss, honestly. I would say that they go to their fellow classmates, and that is why our group is great, because they're being trained on where to lead those students and where to take them if, like, hey, I'm feeling down or I'm having suicidal ideation. So they're gonna talk to their friends about that. They're not gonna talk to us as much. So the good thing is, if they have the training, then they're there to help them, guide them. Hey, a trusted adult, or here's the Hope Line, or here's the national hotline, 988. So there's a lot of different ways that they can reach out, but it's usually their classmates that they reach out to first, their friends.
Great. Well,
Good
thank
job.
you
If you
for
guys would
presenting.
stay there for me, because I want to get a quick picture with you. And board
Thank
members
you.
with you guys. Thanks. Yeah, it might be better with this one. Let me take Ken and Letty. Down. I'm joking on a colleague there. That wasn't meant to stay up. Come on down. Yeah, come on over here, guys.
It's brighter over here.
There we go. Yep. All right, this looks good. Good. Ready? 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Good. Thank you very much. Thanks so much for coming. We appreciate you presenting. Thanks, Dr.
Yeah, that's right. That's your job now. Eric, you can go ahead and go.
Okay, we'll move on to item 6. Anybody signed up? I don't think there was anybody signed up for that. Okay.
That's her job now.
It is, you're on the end.
I was there, and you thought you didn't want the job.
Item 7, report to the treasurer.
One thing, they're still finishing up the audit. I think they're just trying to tie up loose ends with some other audits as well. And I know this is, probably means nothing to you, but last year they gave me a verbal on how a revised code is stated for our 002 fund, which is our bond retirement fund. So we collect all of our debt from our residents, and it goes into the 002 fund. What the auditor, county auditor does is he tracks those two bonds separately, and then I put the money into the 002 fund, just the one fund, and then I always show him our debt schedule. So the auditor knows how much money I have in my debt fund. He's accounting for both bonds by tracking the receipts in himself. What the auditor at the state level has said is that we're supposed to have 2 funds for these bonds. And I said, I've never had to do anything like that before. That's not how the code reads. So I sent it to our legal advisor, who's very knowledgeable about this situation. She even stated that they had not read the ORC correctly. So this year, they came back and said the same thing, and of course, then I took it to our legal, and I said, they're still saying this. So she has put on her email, quoted the entire ORC code, how it's read and how it's analyzed, and sent it to not just our own auditors, but the head of the state auditors as well. She said that there's some new people in office that are creating havoc, not just for this, but other things as well. So even though it's a verbal and it really means nothing, it's the point of it all that I'm not having a verbal on it. I'm doing everything correctly. I'm following what code says. And so I'm making it kind of more of a menace for them to make sure that they're following what they're supposed to be doing. So that's just a little side note, tie up on my end. But other than that, we've had a clean audit. That's it.
All right, thank you. Could I have a motion to accept, please?
Lindley.
Thanks, Brandon. A second?
Wingfield.
Thanks, Brad. Any other further discussion, any other questions for Jill? With none, we'll have a vote, please.
Mrs. Heidinger?
Yes.
Mr. Ledley?
Yes.
Mr. Wingfield?
Yes.
Mr. Carmine?
Yes.
Mr. Hensel?
Yes.
Okay, item 8 is superintendent's report communication. Floor is yours.
All right, I'm not going to take a whole lot of time, but I did want to update you. I had mentioned that the county superintendents were going to be working on a letter to the editor. That will probably be in the paper on Saturday. It's about the concern that we have as far as private school funding and how much that's increased just within the last year. There will also be a community meeting, and I had given you guys the date of March 12th, but it actually had to be moved up to March 7th, so that'll be next week on Thursday. So I just want to make sure that you knew that that is going to be going on at the Mid-Ohio Energy building there in the community room that they have. So again, that's March 7th, and it's really just, it's an informational meeting, educational meeting, just trying to get folks up to speed a little bit on some of the changes that have recently happened within the state and funding public or private education that obviously is a concern for public education. So wanted to update you on that. Also, if you haven't had a chance yet to drive out to the new school site, it's pretty exciting. They've got the new hydro mobile scaffolding that's up. They're probably up at about 28, 30 feet at this point, but remember it's going to go up to 50 feet. So in the next 2 weeks, that should get done where they reach that 50 feet. They've got 2 different crews, I guess, working on it, and so it's pretty exciting. And then concrete floors are going to start to be poured in the next couple of weeks. So it's a lot's going to start happening now that we hit spring at a pretty fast rate. So it's really neat to see that going on. Also, I did want to mention Spencer Engelmeyer. He was a high school student, I believe he's a senior this year, that made states for bowling. So we're excited about that.
Is that meeting on March 7th is still at 6:30?
6:30, yes,
Okay.
thanks.
Okay. All right, board committee reports.
I don't think we had any, but we're getting ready to head into committee
committee
season.
Yeah.
And we just had a finance committee
Oh,
meeting. We talked about getting a new bus. They're costing about, because we're going to get a 72 passenger. A lot of our buses are 65 passenger. We've got 4 that are 72 passenger. We're trying to think ahead for when the middle school and high school come together into the new building. It looks like we're probably going to need a route for in town. So we're going to put an intent to anticipate with Meta Solutions on the next March meeting, which means they've already done the legwork for us. They've got all of the, what do I want to say?
Quotes.
Options, quotes, thank you. Specifications
yeah.
for the buses. So they've got the documentation. We just need to say that we are going to go ahead and do the quote or do the bid with them, and then come back maybe in the April meeting, maybe in the May meeting, and say, yes, we are going to accept Meta's bids for our bus. And they are costing, they've gone up quite a bit.
Or this best looking like.
Yeah, about 130, just standard that we're running. where before, a couple years ago, it was 88 to 90. So we want to get on the bid that they have that is good through October of this year, because then they'll do another rebid, and more than likely, those prices will go up, and that bid will start then November. So if we get our resolutions in the next couple months or so, we can use the October 2024 bidding specs.
And something I forgot to mention in that committee meeting, but it's important too, is there are discussions, there's already, I believe, a bill that's introduced in the Senate that would make them even more expensive, because they're talking about reinforcing some, the ceiling and some different things after the one bus accident here 2 years ago. Yep.
Yes, I read that.
Which then brings me to, we may be transferring some money out of our general fund and into our PI fund to cover the cost of the
The
bus.
bus. Yep.
That's just the kind of stuff that gets me doing. I mean, they want to make these things safer, which I totally get, but you think there'd be something to help offset that.
I know.
Because it's a safety feature to keep kids safe,
Yep,
just like on vehicles in general.
yep.
Like if you want blind spot monitoring, you got to pay more for that.
Mhm. Yep,
But, yeah.
I know. It's like a car.
So the reason why so they're running those, so basically the one with more kids is the cab over stub nose. They can get more kids in there, and the reason why they're going with that is because that's what they run the city, so they can pick up as many kids as possible.
I think they're a little easier to maneuver. in
Right,
town, too.
maneuverability's
Yeah,
better
yeah,
in town too,
yeah.
so.
Okay. We'll move on. Doesn't look like we have any old business. We don't need to worry about that. So new business, item 11, authorization resolutions. Looks like we've got the Emergency Management Agency in the Kent City Schools. Looks like we've got an agreement there. Item 11B, this is resolution authorizing membership for the OHSAA. I can never say that properly. For that, coming up, 11C is overnight trips, out-of-state trips for some of our students. 11D, approve the following donations, and that list keeps getting longer and longer. I love that. Thanks to everyone in the community for that. Looks like a lot of Lake of Lights on there, with good communication with, a lot of our kids got involved out there, Lake of Lights this year, and we love to see that. And their groups actually get some money for that, so that is amazing. 11E, just estimated some resources here, some funds. I asked Jill about that, really just received some grants there that were appropriating those funds that we received there. 11F, just more of the same, right, Jill? Is
Yep.
that what you said
Yep.
on those? So, again, some more money is coming in there. 11G, approve the 2023 tax rates and 2024 estimated revenue as submitted to or by the Hardin County Auditor. Could I have a motion to accept 11?
Hansel.
Thanks, Rodney. A second? Thanks, Tasha. Any discussion or questions or clarification needed in item 11?
I just want to thank the Moore family for thinking of that conservation class when it came to the
Absolutely.
funeral arrangements for Charles. He was a great advocate for conservation, hunting, fishing, and that is a great class in our system. And I just want to thank them for thinking of that for the memorials.
Yeah, that was awesome. I think he's even got a street named after him over in there,
Yeah,
if I'm
yeah.
not mistaken.
They do.
So, over at the
He does,
football
yeah.
factory.
Yep.
So. And I think more good things to come from that conservation class
Oh,
from
yeah.
here, and it's always packed every time that the kids are signing up for it, so. Good, with anything else, item 11? Okay, we'll go ahead and have a vote, please.
Mr. Wingfield?
Yes.
Mr. Carmine?
Yes.
Mr. Hensel?
Yes.
Mrs. Heidinger?
Yes.
Mr. Ludley?
Yes.
Okay, item 12, personnel items. Looks like we've got some volunteers for the 23-24 school contingent upon their certification. Looks like we've got quite a few there. A couple tennis team for the boys. 12B, supplemental contracts for the 23-24 school year. Looks like we just got a spring weight trainer on that one with Sharon there. Approve the written resignation of 12C for Nicole Grindell. And 12D, Following substitutes, again, contingent on the required paperwork. Got a few there, it looks like. 9, maybe. 12E, designate Jill Smith as a public records training.
Lucky you.
Lucky you, yeah.
Good times.
And then approve the following transfer, 12F there, approve the following transfer from Ms. Holland from an assistant to, what's she going to? Oh, she is going to be an assistant, right? Educational assistant, okay.
Yeah, she's just replacing someone.
Okay, replacing somebody else. And 12G, approve the following transfer. So Robin from second grade to KES Title I teacher, and Tina Hall from middle school English to high school English teacher.
And that'll be for next year.
And that's for next year, right? Yeah. Okay. And then 12H, resignation, and 12I, it looks like. And then we've got an adjusted step for Toby Brown from step 0 to step 1. And then 12K, approve Taylor Klingler as educational assistant, step 1. And 12L, Brooke Strand for educational assistant, step 2. Could I have a motion, please?
Ledley.
Thanks, Brandon. Second?
Wingfield.
Thanks, Brad. Any discussion, questions, clarifications on item 12? With none, we'll go ahead and have a vote.
Mr. Carmine?
Yes.
Mr. Hensel?
Yes.
Mrs. Heidinger? Yes. Mr. Ludley?
Yes.
Mr. Wingfield?
Yes.
Item 13, adjournment.
Adjournment.
Enjoy your
Enjoy the adjournment. There we go. At 7:26. The next regular board meeting will be held on March 18th, 2024 at 7 p.m.
And before you go anywhere, we got to get a picture.
What?
And, yep, not only the group picture, but individual headshots per Colt. I think that's why he ran back there.
Whoa, don't be saying